If you go to the website, you're going to see something that looks like this for each grade. Um, there are lesson plans, there are lesson slides, and there's a link to also submit feedback. The lesson plan is really what you're reading to prepare your lesson. Lesson slides have been prepared for you by the diocese. However, please, as a servant, feel free to change this. I do not expect that you send me the same slides or you send to the class coordinator the same slides as what is on the website. So these slides should be adjusted to your class, to what you are going to be doing as a servant. They are there for to help, but they're not there to just pick up and go. Uh, we're gonna get more into lesson plans later in a later unit, but just wanted to highlight that. The last link here is actually very important, and not a lot of people use it. But if you are going through the curriculum, let's say you spot a mistake or you have a suggestion, please go back and submit your feedback back to the diocese and tell them, on this page, I noticed there's this mistake, or on this page, we could add this activity or this craft that I did that turned out to be very engaging and the kids loved. So whenever you get an opportunity, do go back and submit feedback. At the start of every grade, there is a summary page that looks something like this. It's going to talk about the theme of the year. Every year has its own theme. It's also going to talk about certain characteristics that your kids are developing at that age. So it's very important to also read this and make sure you understand what your kids are going through. Maybe at this point they're very sensitive, so you need to be careful in how you interact with them. Um, there's an emphasis on fairness for that grade for that year. So we also need to make sure that we show fairness, and we understand when they say, oh, this is not fair. We understand where that's coming from, because that's what they're developing right now. Within the theme of the year, there are building blocks. So these are just different subsections in the curriculum, and within these subsections there are the different lessons. And then lastly, down here, you're going to see, like, what are we trying to achieve over the year, like in terms of scripture, in terms of spiritual. We want to have them pray using the Agpeya or whatever it is. These are the things we're trying to encourage that year. All right. So when you open up a particular lesson, this is what you're going to see. And there are different sections to it. So first of all, there's the top section here that shows you any lesson preparation. Next, you've got the goal, and feel free to change the goal, but we need to still stick to the topic. Next is our moral character, like what character we're trying to get them to learn through this story or through this lesson. There's a memory verse. Then there is the actual lesson opening. So, like something exciting to get the kids excited about the lesson. There's a lesson body. So, that would be the actual story. And then they've added like crafts and activities that we can use. And I do encourage you to use them. If you don't want to, you can do your own. That's fine as well. But we do want every lesson to have some sort of a craft or activity. Then there's the lesson review, and usually there are just like one or two questions, but you like, as a servant, please do expand on these and make sure that you've asked them questions about the topic that you've covered. And then lastly, like, okay, we've learned a story, great. How are we going to apply this in our life today? So this is the lesson curriculum, and next we're going to be digging deeper into um, other areas of this this curriculum in later units.